Did you know that Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gascon allowed a 26-year-old child molester to be sentenced in a juvenile court? Hi, my name is John McKinney. I'm a Los Angeles County prosecutor, and I've been a prosecutor for 24 years. And just like you, I was disturbed when I heard the outcome of the Hannah Tubbs case. The Tubbs story begins on January 1st, 2014, when a young 10-year-old girl was having breakfast with her family at Denny's in Palmdale. She was excused to use the restroom, and when she did, James Tubbs was waiting for her inside. Yes, James Tubbs, then a 17-year-old, 2 weeks shy of his 18th birthday, attacked a 10-year-old girl and violently molested her. He committed a forcible act of sexual assault upon her and only stopped when he was interrupted by someone else entering the restroom. Tubbs fled that day. During the years that he evaded capture, he visited other states, reportedly fled to states like Idaho, Washington, Oregon, where he picked up additional crimes for drug possession and battery. In 2019, authorities in Los Angeles got a cold DNA hit on Tubbs, who was then housed at a facility in Idaho, but by the time they contacted Idaho authorities, Tubbs was released. Tubbs resurfaced in Kern County, California, where he was charged and convicted of assault with a deadly weapon. He was sentenced to 4 years in state prison. By the time Tubbs was brought to Los Angeles had elected a new district attorney George Gascon. On his first day in office, George Gascon announced a policy that his office would no longer seek to prosecute 16 or 17-year-olds in a criminal court, no matter the circumstances. It was a blanket policy against holding 16 and 17-year-olds accountable for serious and violent crimes. Tubbs benefited from that decision. So rather than face a transfer hearing in which a juvenile court judge would have decided where Tubbs should be tried, Tubbs was left in the juvenile system. Being left in the juvenile system meant that Tubbs would not face any substantial jail time, receive any meaningful services or programming, nor would Tubbs have to register as a sex offender upon release. Also, it has been reported that for the first time, Tubbs started to identify as a female rather than a male. Some have suggested that this was because Tubbs was afraid of being housed with male defendants while in custody. Tubbs recognized the opportunity that George Gascon had given him and immediately admitted the petition, which meant that he could never be tried and convicted in an adult criminal court. The juvenile court really had no services available for Tubbs. The probation department reported to the court that they had no programming for a 26-year-old child molester. They had never faced that situation before. Nevertheless, Tubbs was sentenced to serve 2 years in a juvenile facility. Between the time Tubbs entered an admission to the charges and the time Tubbs was actually sentenced, surreptitious phone calls were recorded between Tubbs and his father in which Tubbs admitted things like he knew he got a good deal. He gloated over the fact that he benefited from Gascon's policies. He talked about his victim in the most callous way, referring to her as fresh meat. These phone calls were made public and embarrassed Gascon. It was then and only after these recordings were made public, that Gascon admitted that his policy in that case was a mistake. And if you thought this case couldn't get any more bizarre, it took another turn when Kern County authorities charged Tubbs with murder, a murder that occurred in 2019 in Kern County. The Tubbs case is but one example of many cases in which justice was not served, in which victims were hurt. The victim in the Tubbs case wasn't just victimized by Tubbs in 2014, she was victimized all over again by a bad policy implemented by DA George Gascon. We have to stop these dangerous policies, and the way to do it is to sign the petition to recall Los Angeles County DA George Gascon. Do it for all the children in the community. Do it for the elderly in the community. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for your neighbors. We all deserve a good quality of life, and we all deserve a good, fair, and proportional justice system. We don't have that now. We can have it. Use the power of the vote. Thank you.